This is the first time I'm doing a video kind of like this. Gorilla Tag has been getting kind of crazy, kind of toxic. This video is kind of just like me addressing the community as it is right now. Yeah, the game's like super dry right now. There hasn't been updates and all that. I see a lot of people getting really angry at Lemming and saying like, oh, he's a bad developer or all that stuff. There's a lot of misconceptions I think people are coming to now. So if you haven't already seen this interview by Ms. Whatever Live with Lemming, he was talking about Gorilla Tag and kind of what's been going on with it, or at least not what's been going on, but like it was right after the game kind of initially started growing, back when the Canyons map first came out. In the interview, he kind of talks about how the game is his first game ever. It's already kind of complete as it is. It's a complete package, and he doesn't really want to update it as much. And I don't want to say I know exactly what he feels, because like, yeah, I've made games before, but nothing compared to like actually Gorilla Tag. In a sense, I kind of understand what it's like to have that big pressure put on you to like update the game, release it, do all that stuff. And it's really stressful, especially when it's just you. It's not just me. I don't make my games by myself at all, so I can only imagine what he's trying to do right now, making that successful of a game and having to deal with people constantly asking for his attention. I don't want this video to seem like praising Lemming or putting him on a pedestal and saying he's not doing anything wrong, but like obviously the game is super dry right now, the community's toxic, and I think that does have to do with the fact that there's a content drought. I think people just need to take a second and realize like this is one dude working on the first game he's ever made, ever, pretty much. He's not like a game developer. Like a lot of people have been taking it too far and saying like, oh yeah, Lemming's a little bitch or whatever, and all that stuff. It's just one guy making a game. Another thing too is like the modding community is just torn in half pretty much. There's the verified modders and the people in the modding Discord making mods and enjoying it, and you know, they're having a good time because they don't really have to worry about that content drop. But then there's people, these just absolute dickheads. Like, I'm sorry, but if you're making mod menus and getting pissed off that Lemming's patching your kick gun, like, go fuck yourself. Just go outside. Seriously. These are just mods that ruin the game experience for other people so that you can, like, get some sense of enjoyment out of it. The community right now is just very toxic, and I see it kind of spiraling. My sort of message with this video is just, yeah, voice your concern and say, hey, yeah, we could use some new maps, but say it in a way where it's actually constructive, like, and not just, oh, fuck you, Lemming, or the game's dry, it's dying, there's no updates, oh man, worst developer. It's like, give this, like, be a little bit patient, but do call him out when, you know, he's not doing anything to kind of help his game out, and then maybe he'll say something or address it, but don't start shitting on him for, like, no reason. The dude hasn't really done anything to warrant that at all. Like, oh yeah, boo-hoo, he didn't update the game. He's still a human being. I just wish that, you know, people would be a little bit more understanding of it, because when it comes to game development, I think a lot of people just think, oh yeah, just drag shit in and it'll be fine. Like, no, that's not technically how that works. Like, I know making a map when you have help is like super easy. Like, I could go message one of my friends right now. I was like, oh yeah, you think we could add a map? And it's like, cool, bust it out in a couple of hours and it's done. But he has a job that he clocks in. I'm pretty sure he's a software engineer. You can see it in that whole interview. I'll link it in the description. But I feel like a lot of the answers to most of the community's questions are in this interview about the outlook of the game, what's going to be going on, and like, yeah, there is a possibility that Gorilla Tag could just stop getting updates and it could just stay how it is and maybe just get new cosmetics, because it really seems like he's kind of not really interested in updating the game as much. At least what it sounded like in that interview. He didn't really feel like updating it. He did mention in that interview a lot about making the movement open source and making games and like seeing what other people do with the locomotion. And I think this kind of comes down to like what me and a lot of other people are now doing, is making those fan games and experimenting with the locomotion. So my guess would be he doesn't really want to go that far into like making a game his full-time job and like having that be what he does, because the project itself was just a simple idea because he made this locomotion. Like, it was like, oh, what can I do with this locomotion? Tag, cool. Like I said earlier, just take it easy, be constructive, Yeah, voice your opinions and be like, hey dude, we could use some more maps, but be like, oh yeah, you know, new maps would be sick. And the more people that say it in a nice, constructive way, the higher the possibility of change. Nobody likes it when they're being yelled at to do something. Like, nobody does. Voice your opinions in a constructive way, and maybe you'll see some change. One thing I see now is like the modding community and the fan game community and all that. That's where I see the future of Gorilla Tag lying, and I'm a little bit biased because I end up, you know, I make them. I make the games and stuff. I don't know, Gorilla Tag isn't going to be the only game that's pretty popular that like has Gorilla Tag locomotion. There's going to be others that are going to sprout up here and there, and it's going to, you know, hopefully become at least some form of standard for locomotion in VR gaming as a whole. I'm pretty sure that was Lemming's whole goal, is to just like bring something new to the table. And I think that's why the game became so popular. But the movement's there. Go make something with it. If you're really pissed off about like updates and whatever, and oh yeah, maybe the game doesn't get updates anymore, go make something. Like, it's not his job to make you maps and stuff. Like, he has another job. He could just shut down servers and say screw it. But he has them open just because it's like a little passion project, I think. I haven't seen any YouTube videos. All the YouTube videos have been just talking, giving constructive feedback, and I think that's good. I think a lot more people, like I saw a Quanlease video, and I think Chipped Banjo's working on one. You know, the video's titled like the State of Gorilla Tag. That's good. Voicing opinions, downright just saying like, oh yeah, we could use some updates, you could use some of that. More and more am I just seeing people like shitting on Lemming and shitting on content creators, like for making videos on the game, making videos on fan games, or like whatever. It's just like it doesn't help anybody. But I'm gonna do some more videos kind of like this, except I don't know, different topics, some commentary, like answering questions about future projects or whatever, I don't know. But yeah, bye bye.